Who's here?
Oh,
Kevin in
let's
DC.
see. That's right. Are we going to sing it, babe, or are we
Everybody's
just going to
connecting.
announce it?
You want
We're
to
gonna
sing
sing
it?
it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, here we go.
Mm.
That's not our starting pitch. Hello to Kevin in DC and Dory and Ollie, Jim Armstrong and Trisha,
Victoria.
and in Knoxville and Don Peabody.
Boom, 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 boom.
You take the rest of
We got Delhi and Hoda in BC, Susan G in Seattle, and Bronwyn in the South, Sheila in Florida, Larissa visiting Texas, Bruce Galloway is here. All right, it is a party.
Boop, boop, Bob Gates. So got Kathleen from Albuquerque.
Bonnie!
There is Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, and Bob and Bear in Massachusetts.
And the cow.
And
Nancy
Huda and Mark and Victoria in DC. And
Susan from Seattle.
Fred out in Silver Spring. And we got Jane in Texas and Linda in Orcas Islands. And we got the...
Kathy.
Woo!
Oh, Kathy.
Do they have
all
a bigger
right.
font for this?
Okay.
Here we go. We got Gary and...
Amanda and Miles and Nancy. Where's your picture, Nancy? Where's your picture? All right.
We got the curly tops. We got
Caroline
Karen.
in to see.
We got Karen and Janie and Carol. Is that everybody?
Wow.
And we got
That's a
people
party.
on the live. Woo!
And Tim and Joe Rascal.
Yes, we are Dan and Claudia Zanes. We're thrilled to be here with you all on this glorious Saturday.
This is so stressful hosting.
I know, we don't do this often, but we're hoping we get invited back. Anyway, happy Saturday to you all. We are thrilled. We're excited that Joe has asked us into this space to host this afternoon. We are on day, I was hoping to see a sign up somewhere.
3,333.
Okay, that works. All right, so here we are together.
Oh, Storm is here.
Storm
okay,
is
now
here.
It's a
Now
party.
the party's getting started. And we're very, very, very excited because we have Tim Eriksen in the house.
The legend
Today.
himself.
That's right. And before we jump into that, we just want to remind you all that there is a virtual community sing.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow,
night.
okay,
Yeah.
tomorrow night. That's May the 21st, I believe, 6:30 p.m. And we'll have more information about that a little later. But we want to get the party started.
Amos is here, so now we can really get into it.
We want to get the party started. We've got Tim with the beautiful filter looking good on the screen, got the guitar. We're going to hear what he's got to share with us today.
You know, the thing I was going to say about Tim is love the guy, love the music,
Yeah.
but he sings so loud. So that's the thing about Tim. Tim,
That's
man.
my one New York Times quote was the loud-voiced Eriksen. And they liked that I recorded in mono. Those were the
So how are you going to handle Lullaby Week?
Yeah, right?
I basically just shout my children down. Combination of Sacred Harp and punk rock, at bedtime.
It's great
No,
to see you.
I never thought about it until people started mentioning it, but now it's come up a bunch of times. But I guess people think I sing loud, so but for at least the last 20 odd years, the most consistent singing I've been doing, other than socially or on stage or whatever, has been just singing at night for my kids. And I started a recording project during the pandemic when everybody was looking for something to do, and it was really sweet because I set up some mics right by where my youngest son was sleeping, so I actually recorded stuff. It's different when you're actually when you're actually trying to put somebody to sleep, rather than being in the studio wondering about it. So I don't know about how it's going to go over at noon here. But
This is a rough crowd, you know that.
I know they can be ornery. But I thought I'd share one with you that I've been singing for a long time. I found this like 30 odd years ago in a local music book called The American Musical Miscellany. And you could be vague in those days because there weren't a lot of books. And it's just called Lullaby. And for those who are interested in such things, mostly I've always sung just unaccompanied, but But I like playing also for my kids at night, and it's usually real simple. And so I came up with an arrangement that you can do with either one finger or two fingers. A lot of things I do, you don't need the left hand at all, but this one's got some left hand in it. Anyway, it's just called Lullaby, and it's a good melody. Not the easiest in the world. Peaceful slumbering on the ocean, sailors fear no danger nigh. The winds and waves in gentle motion soothe them with their lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothe them with their lullaby. So it's kind of a chorus there. Is the wind tempestuous blowing? Still no dangers they descry. The guileless heart its boon bestowing soothes them with its lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothes them with its lullaby. When the midnight tempest raging rolls the angry billows high, the morrow's calm their thoughts engaging soothes them with its lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothes them with its lullaby. Now the threatening storm is over, clouds no more enshroud the sky. Blissful thoughts of absent lovers soothe them with their lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothe them with their lullaby. The voyage being made and the ships returning, port now greets the raptured eye. Joy in every bosom burning soothes them with its lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothes them with its lullaby. Safe arrived at anchor riding, hands ashore all eager fly. Happy lovers with gentlest chiding soothe them with their lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothes them with their lullaby. Lullaby, lullaby, lullaby. Soothes them with their lullaby. And I like that tonal ambiguity is so allowable in lullabies, and that if it done right, they don't really have to end. You know, that sense that they just like the songs that we all probably remember, I hope.
That sounded so
Wow,
good.
let's give it up. I'm still in a trance. That was amazing. That was really beautiful.
Isn't that a good tune? 1798, and I didn't think to share that one before outside of my kids.
This could be the new punk rock.
Yeah. Quiet is the new loud. Sleep is the new work. That's definitely the case over the last couple of years.
Yeah, sure.
Are you playing in open tuning?
Yeah. It was just like what the guitar was in this morning.
So you found the book, you picked it up, saw the. How did it happen?
Yeah. Well, hold up. I got interested in when I was first really starting to get into sacred harp, shape note music. I got really interested in the local history of it, and I just started poking around and looking at books, and I found this book that was written by a guy who was compiled by a guy he led the singing over at the church in town, and he compiled some sacred music books, but this is a book of mostly just drinking songs and love songs and this and that. And so I was just curious about it as just like a local imprint, you know.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
We're looking forward to the Lullaby record.
for sure.
I feel reinvigorated, or whatever the appropriate adjective, or something aided.
Do you picture it being mostly you playing, or are you gonna put together the orchestra?
Brass band. Well, it was, when during the height of the lockdown and stuff, there wasn't an option, and it's only ever me putting my kids to sleep most of the time. So, but unless I can get somebody to come over and do that.
And do you still sing songs to your kids to go to sleep, lullabies for your kids?
Yeah. I got to sing, and even for some of the older ones, for a while ago, because they were hanging out when I was putting the youngest one to bed, and that was really, really sweet. They all kind of fell asleep.
Are they musical too? Do you have a family band?
No, they've stayed away from it.
And I'm just curious as to what your signature lullaby song is. What song have you?
Well, for the older ones, there's one Tiho Noche, which is and there's a couple of ones that are like from Bosnia, from that part of the world, that the older ones I used to sing for them mostly. But it depends. It's kind of like whatever I'm working on. And there's a couple songs. I don't know, maybe probably a lot of you had this phenomenon, but I've come to love the phenomenon of the unfinished songs. There's songs that that I started working on as they were going to sleep, and years and years and years later, they're not finished, and I think maybe that's just what they are. Because if the point is to put somebody to sleep, they don't necessarily care how it ends.
Good point.
They're never going to find out.
What are you up to this summer?
Not a lot.
Is that by choice?
It's by somebody's choice. The choice of venues and record labels around the world. I don't know. Yeah, partly. I'm doing a lot of preparing for things, some recording, and I have a punk rock band, doing some stuff with them and playing and recording, but not, no touring, which is nice. I'm going to be doing some teaching next year, so I got to figure out what I'm going to teach. But now I feel like I really want to restart this this lullaby recording. I'm also the main thing I'm working on this summer is an album with my friend Omar Sosa, who's a wonderful Afro-Cuban jazz. Well, he wouldn't say jazz, but piano player, We did an album like 15 years ago or something. And we're finally getting around to doing a follow up. So I'll be going over to Paris to record that at some point.
There we go. That's
Not
pretty
nothing,
big.
but not a lot.
What are those songs? Are those songs that you've written or written together?
Well, the last one was a combination of stuff that he had written, stuff that I wrote, and traditional, whatever kind of American folk songy type stuff. This one is going to be probably more stuff that I've written, and that he's gonna like. I'm the ball's in my court at the moment, so some old songs, some of these Bosnian or Balkan songs, and some stuff that I've written, and then I'm gonna let him loose because he's just unbelievable. He one of my favorite performances I ever did. We had a 45-minute rehearsal for a 75-minute show, and we didn't get around to playing everything. And there's one song at the last minute we were leaving the rehearsal place, and I said, "Oh, there's this one I was thinking might be good for an encore." And he said, "Oh, how's it go?" And I said, "It goes like this. It's just got these chords." And he said, "Oh, okay, cool, man, let's do it." So we did that as the encore. And so I think he'll, whatever I do, he'll make it something.
How do you write? Do you have a particular place in your house or a particular time of day? What are the ideal
Well,
conditions?
he's like when I'm putting the kids to sleep, really. Like that seriously for a long time was the main time I had to myself. I mean, in a sense. And also in the middle of the night, I've been writing down musical dreams. I started having actually functional, like I don't, we always dream about music, but I started over the weird sleep patterns in the lockdown and stuff. I started having really functional dreams, like actually working out parts and stuff. So I've done some dream stuff, and then in the middle of the night is when I write shape note music. Just when so it depends.
Man, you've done so much over the years, but it sounds like you're hitting new levels and going to new places.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm really excited about whatever's next. I don't know what it's going to be, but a lot of potential things.
So, Tim, I see some people asking if you could just talk about quickly just what is shape note music.
Um, Quick and dirty. Shape note refers to a notational system that was developed in about 1800 in the Northeast U.S. And it's designed for making sight reading easier, and it became associated almost entirely with sacred music, and then as time went on, almost entirely with sacred music from sort of frontier, from the south and west, from the perspective of New England people anyway. And it has come to us in the form of the sacred harp, which is the most vital singing tradition, and named after the book at its center, that uses this shape note notation. And it's community singing of predominantly sacred music, 4-part harmony, 3 and 4-part harmony, and it's good. It's humans, so it's complex, but it's good.
So the music that you're composing is sacred music.
Well, there's a new. So the book has been in print. The Sacred Harp, as the most important repository of shape note music, has been in print since 1844, but the last edition was in 1991. So there's a new edition coming out, and I was inspired by that to put together some just songs in 4-part harmony, no instruments or anything. And it wasn't the first time I'd done it, but it'd been 25 years since I'd really tried, and so I've been thrilled to be doing that. And now all these apps and whatnot, it makes life easier.
Yeah, you're a deep cat, man. I'm glad we got to host today.
Oh, well, it's really nice to meet you. It'd be nice to see. I'm getting used to some of these faces here. It'd be nice to see some of you all in person one of these days.
Where do you live?
In Amherst, Mass.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm certainly not going to play the whole thing again. Did you want like a verse or two to remind you of the thing, or is it time to go?
Oh no, we want to hear some more of that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And we also just want to remind everyone tomorrow, the virtual community sing, the 21st, 6:30. Oh yes, thank you, Joe. Just put that up on the screen. We've got these 4 lovely humans that will be sharing.
Celebrating Jewish American Heritage Month, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and Mothers.
That's right. So head on over to carpediemarts.org and join us tomorrow at 6:30 to 7:30. And with that said, we're gonna, yes, Tim, if we could just hear some of that again. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, if you can, I don't know if I don't remember if any of this gets recorded or how this works. I guess it gets recorded, so you can probably hear it. But for those that don't like to listen back, I'll just do a couple of verses, and for what it's worth, just like arrangements and stuff. If it's helpful, if you're like me, you're not like a lot of left hand all over the place kind of musician. I just like to have things where you don't have to use the left hand very much, and then it's kind of more accessible to anybody because you just do that and that's fine, you know. I don't always use my left hand, but on this one, it's like if you have it, you know, tuned in the kind of way you can just. You could do that and just use one hand. Or one finger, I mean. And then if you want to make it fancy, 2 fingers. Peaceful slumbering on the ocean, sailors fear no danger nigh. Winds and waves in gentle motion soothe them with their lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothe them with their lullaby. And I'll do the last one. Safe arrived at anchor riding, hands ashore all eager fly. Happy lovers with gentlest chiding, soothe them with their lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Soothe them with their lullaby.
Thank you so much, Tim. That was
Thank you,
awesome.
Tim.
You're welcome. It's really a pleasure.
Thank you.
Joe Rascal, what do we do now? Where do we go from there? That was so good.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes after the songs, we don't really want to this is actually really appropriate sometimes, right? Because it's just nice and quiet. And yeah. So how about if everybody gives it up for Tim Eriksen?
Yeah.
Go to bed, for crying out loud. It's after 12.
Good. We're going to take a nap with our dog.
So I think we want to say a huge thank you to Tim Eriksen, and as long as I'm up, I'll also say a huge thank you to today's first-timer hosts, Dan and Claudia Zane. Did an amazing job. Definitely going to get asked back. And we would now basically say thanks for joining us here in the Daily Antidote, and don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the Community Sing at 6:30, and of course tomorrow for the Daily Antidote. Tomorrow's Lullaby will be the last one in our Lullaby week, so please do join in. And Dan and Claudia, can I turn it over to you for some magical goodbyes?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. This is so great. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Thanks. Yeah, likewise.
Have a wild weekend.
That's right. Okay.
Joe, we need those Hollywood squares. We're just looking at Tim, which is cool, but that's only one goodbye.
All right, wait a minute. So I can unspotlight Tim, but you guys have to still put it on gallery.
Just watching Tim drink tea, which is great.
All right, here we go.
Kevin in DC, yeah. Dory and Ollie, maybe, yeah. Jim in New York City, yeah. Trish in Victoria, Don in Curly Tops, Deli, Hoda in BC, Susan G, still in Seattle.
All right, Sheila in Florida, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Bob and Bear in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
Luda and Mark and Victoria. We got Martha Wagner, Woody, we got Fred Stolenser in Silver Springs. We got Susan Miller in
All right.
Seattle and Jane in Texas.
And
we got Linda. Orcas Island got Kathy. Oh, we got Cricket. Jamie Dundas in Victoria. We got Julie.
And the cow.
And the cow, we got Storm. And in Knoxville, got Gary. Amanda and Miles and Michael too. The doodly-doo. We got Whoa, the squares move. We got Kate in Charlottesville, Caroline in DC, Curly Tops. We got Carol in Connecticut. We got Amos. We got Alios. And my head's going lower as I'm trying to read the bottom of the screen. Got Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey,
We
Kevin.
got Annette in California.
Annette.
And with that, we say goodbye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Joe Rascal.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Tim
all.
Eriksen. All right.